Hey, what is up YouTube? My name is Travis and thank you for tuning in to another TDH upload. Today is going to be a continuation of where we left off on our 50 horsepower Yamaha outboard engines. I got these guys on Facebook Marketplace. They were a hell of a deal. If you guys have not seen part one, you want to jump back and get brought up to speed on part one. We basically just go over both of these motors, just a quick overview, and then I discuss the T50. We run through her, check her compression numbers, get it running, do a leak down test and see its overall condition, and hopefully that is the engine that we are going to use in the long run. Now this is part two. We're going to speak about the F50, which is the carbureted version of the T50. There are some major differences. Like they say the T50 is a high thrust or a high torque outboard. The lower unit has a different gear ratio than the F50, and the lower units are not interchangeable between the F and the T series Yamaha motors. So they have little odds and ends, but basically, just to make it short and simple, that this is the carbureted version of the T50. The T50's electronic fuel injected. So anyways, guys, first we're going to dive into checking the compression numbers on this F50, and then we'll roll over into getting the actual motor running, seeing how it runs and how it sounds, and then we can wrap up the video from there. I just did not want to make part one a 30-minute long video about two Yamaha motors. I wanted to kind of split it up. So let's check those numbers, and then we'll get her running. Another 170. Here we go. Uh, 165, maybe slightly lower, 160. Throttle's open. About 150, so number one is our weak cylinder. But it is all there though. Well guys, she may not be aesthetically as pretty or as pleasing as the T50, but man, she does run pretty good. I know number one is not within 10% of the rest of the cylinders, but she does have compression on all four. And once I got the fuel pump to pull up some fuel, some fresh fuel, and bleed the air out of the lines, once the carburetors had some gas in it, she did kick right off. I let her run for about 2 minutes with the throttle open just a tad bit, and gave her a couple of revs as you guys saw there. And then once it ran for about 2 minutes, I had it idling. So it does not smell of the bad gas or the the really old varnished gas that it did when I picked it up. I'm hoping that I ran that out of the system, getting it to run and firing it off. I definitely did notice that the throttle is just a little sticky. at some points it would idle just fine, and then if I were released too quickly, it would come back and kill the idle. But I think that just has to do with, you know, it needs to be greased up, cleaned up, and they just need a little TLC. But I definitely think the F50 is a good contender for somebody who wants to get a cheaper Yamaha on their boat and have some good fun with it. You guys are probably wondering, why don't I go with the motor that runs over the motor that has obviously issues and that failed the leak down test on number 4. I just hear really good things about the T50, and I have this motor posted for sale, posted up for $1,500. If I can get $1,300 out of it, I have no problems rolling some of that money over into this thing, pulling the head off and just checking the condition, and then kind of going from there. If this engine ends up being, you know, a nightmare where it's not going to be worth it, maybe I pull the power head off, find another power head, or I just sell it for parts, you know, make some money between both of the engines, and I can take that money elsewhere and maybe find something that's a little bit cleaner, maybe something a little bit newer. But either way, guys, I got these for a great deal. I can't complain. They both run. One has its problems. The other one's a little iffy with the compression number on number 1 there, but I don't know, guys. I think it's a pretty decent motor for what it is. So that's all that I have really for these outboard motors. I guess I could have just put this in one upload, but I wanted to split it up. I didn't want it to end up being like 30-minute video of me just running my mouth and going over both of these engines. So it is up in the air. It is 50-50. If you guys are interested, I'll leave my email in the description. You can shoot me an email. I'm asking $1,500 for the F50. If you guys want to come and check it out, you're in the Jacksonville area, just shoot me an email. We can link up and you guys can have a look at it. I do want to kind of get it out of my way, get it out of my hair, free up some space in my shop because my shop's pretty small. And I don't need 2 of them. I don't need 2 of them hanging out. If there were 2 T50s and I could build one, you know, into a really good motor, that would make sense. But obviously they're different generations, different series, so one of them's got to go. The T50 is probably going to stay. We'll rip that apart and we'll dive down that rabbit hole. And other than that, guys, we're going to be getting on the formula here hopefully this week. I'm going to start doing some sanding and grinding work on the bilge and hopefully get another coat of glass up there. That way we can get ready to paint that and kind of go over the back side of the transom, figure out what we're going to do about prepping that up, so that way I can get this motor dropped back into the boat, because I'm at the point now where it's been in the way in my shop and it's driving me up the wall. It's just got to go back in the boat. So other than that, guys, be on the lookout for those uploads. I will be popping through with some more content. Obviously we have tons of stuff to do for the Carolina Skiff with the center console, all of that jazz. We have tons of footage to film for the T50 if we go down that rabbit hole. So be on the lookout, guys. I do appreciate you watching. Those of you who have returned, thank you, thank you, thank you. Those of you that are new subscribers to the channel, we are slowly growing. We hit 19,900 subscribers. Freaking awesome. Somehow, some way, the channel continues to grow, so I want to thank you guys for tuning in, popping in, dropping comments, leaving likes, and all that good jazz. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. I will see you in the next upload. Later.